Good evening. It is October 13th, 2023. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin's action. First up, what I said on Monday was basically, still expecting the bears to wake up and begin the push down to low 20Ks. Hopefully, we were seeing the beginnings of that move. Low time frame action was a little cloudy, but we had many paths to take it lower and only one bullish path, and the bulls have pretty much fumbled that at this point. Um, they did not make 5 waves up to 28,350. So I said, it's likely the bears are going to take over and push down to about 25 and a half. So we haven't gotten that 25 and a half yet, but we are on the way to it, most likely, with some, with the possibility of, again, maybe heading up temporarily. I'll show you what I mean by that. We've got a new sort of short-term bullish path, which in the bigger picture is still bearish, based on the more recent action. But all right, so let's see. Quick overview. I've done the bigger picture quite a few times. I'm going to skip that tonight. But suffice it to say that we are looking for this move down here into this yellow box at a minimum. That would be the bullish case, which I'm not fully convinced of, but at a minimum, that's what we need to see. This should be a three-wave move down, and we have our A and we have our B, and we're basically waiting for our C right now. C of Y of 2, unless it crashes further through that, which is a possibility. It may crash down further than that, and then that would put us on the bearish path to 10K or below. That is still a possibility. All right, so let's go over the bullish path that I was looking at previously. Was this red diagonal right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can see that we've broken down now out of that diagonal channel, so it is extremely unlikely that is going to play out. You can sometimes get this to be, an expanding sort of microphone looking channel instead, but the likelihood is extremely low on that. So I'm going to actually go ahead and just remove that. We'll revisit it if we need to, but I do not believe that has any chance of playing out at this point. I'm going to go over hopefully the path that it's going to take, the most likely path, which I have in blue here, first, and then I'll come back to the possible temporary bullish path that is actually still bearish. But all right, so we have, let me just zoom in a little bit here. We have an initial wave 1 down. We've got a nice big ABC expanding flat for a wave 2 right there. We had a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down for the initial first wave of the next move down right there. Right, so we're working on kind of nesting these 1s and 2s and 1s and 2s and 1s and 2s, and it's looking really nice. Now, we should be within that. We should be in wave 4 and working on, hopefully soon, wave 5 of the larger 3. Okay, and the target for that is this area right here, about 26.1 to 26,264. That's the target for 5 of 3. And we can get that target. Let me just show you again. Drawing a fib backwards, 3 to 2. You can see right here, the target is 1236 to 1382, right in that area that I have the green box at. Okay, so there's our target, 5 of 3. Now, our resistance zone is typically this area here, but it's really not invalidated unless you get a sustained break above the 0.5. And we went up, just about touched it today. We did not break above it, but it is a possibility that it does make a sustained break above, and that may very well put us into the alternative scenario, which I'll go over in a bit. But for now, as long as we remain below that, the most likely outcome is still pushing lower into that area. And it would make our lives a lot easier if it did achieve that. Because then we can continue following this path down. We would then get a little temporary bull retrieve back up to, kind of this area that we're at right now, probably for our wave 4, and then we'd push down to about 25.5 for wave 5. That then is likely to form an even larger wave 1, since we will not be in the yellow box yet. So that is going to be wave 1, then we'll get a big bounce for wave 2, then we go down for 3, 4, 5, and that leads us down to 21K. Okay, so that covers what I hope is going to happen, because it just makes our lives easier. Let me go back to the 4-hour chart now and just go over what happens if we break above 27,150 approximately, if it sustains above that. First off, just for clarity's sake, I'm going to change these. They were kind of an alternate scenario before, so I had it in blue, but let me change this to yellow, because this is the primary path down to the yellow box, hopefully. So all of this is part of the yellow path. All right. Now, I'll change the rest of these then as well. I'll leave it for now, but I'll change those then to yellow. Okay. Alternatively, we have our high right here at about 31.8. Okay, so we have some room still for this to be doing a larger correction. And if we break above 27,150 and sustain above 27,150, then it's quite possible that we are once again resetting this B wave. And instead of ending there, it's actually ending here. And that would be part of a WXY correction upwards. And as I said, there is room for that. In fact, there's room all the way up to, let me move this green line down. Room all the way up to the 886 at 30,940, basically. Okay, so essentially, as long as this stays below that line, it can correct upwards, even up into the 30Ks again, and still want to come down into this area sub 25, okay, like 24.5 or lower. So, all of that being said, should we break above 27,150 and begin another move upwards, it will likely take the form, first off, of an ABC, and secondly, it'll likely take us back into probably, let's just call it 29 to 30 roughly, and then still die after that. Okay, so it would delay the resolution of this once again, which would be annoying because we've had lots and lots of chop recently, but Bitcoin really likes to do that. So it would not be completely surprising to see that. So I'm going to put that on as, let's call it orange, because it's still our bearish, right? It's kind of related to yellow. So I'm going to say this is our alternative A, higher B, C down. Let me make that the same wave degree and in orange, so that we can know that's our alternative. There we go. And I will label this as a WXY within that B wave. So this, instead of being our B, would be W. This would be our X, and this would be our Y up. And hopefully me taking the time to put this on here will ensure that we don't get it. I would love to just be able to delete that off of the chart, but for now, there's my quote-unquote bullish alternative. And I suppose if we get above 30,930, then I would have to assume at that point, I'm going to put this in red. This would be 1, this would be 2. we would be making a larger diagonal, 3, 4, 5 up. Very, very, very unlikely. Do not see that as a high possibility or probability at all, but always like to be prepared. I won't even have the channel for this unless we do break above 30.9 and we make a top in 3. Once we do that, then I can finally get a channel, right? Because we need 1 and we need 3 in order to draw a channel, but it would essentially look something like this. ABC, here's ABC down, ABC up in 3, ABC over in 4, ABC up in 5, right? It would look something along those lines. Very, very choppy channel upwards. And that could potentially give us a bullish path upwards, but we still have to contend with this, which could be a possible larger 2. So anyway, lots and lots of possibilities here. Bigger picture, again, remains pretty bearish, honestly. There's not a great bull path here. Even the yellow is not a fantastic bull path, but that would be the one that I'm most comfortable with. I really don't want to see this push up in this channel at all, because it's pretty unreliable, in my opinion. If we're going to go bullish, I would much rather see it hit yellow first and then potentially push up from there. All right, I think that covers all possibilities. So again, just kind of quick summary. As long as we're below that 27.1, you know, just for argument's sake, let's call it 27.150, easier to say. As long as we're below 27.150, we really should start heading down here. The action off of the low has really been chop. It's not any sort of structure that we want to see for bulls to take hold. You know, this is an ABC very, very clearly. Now, I do want to just go down. I don't want to be a perma bear here, right? I do want to point out that the action that we have off of this high is also an ABC down. That's an ABC. So we don't really have, you know, a good start necessarily for the bulls at this point either. So I'm not too happy about that in the very low time frame picture. However, that is very low time frame, and you got to take it with a grain of salt when you're down this low. So, you know, when looking at the bigger picture, it's much more clear to me that this is indicating it's likely to go lower rather than higher, but we do have to be ready for anything. So I remain short from this spike right here. Actually, I shorted here and then again right there up to 28. I think I got a fill at 28.2. I didn't quite get my 28.3 fill because it was just a little shy of that. But so I am still short from here. I plan on holding those shorts unless this low time frame action would indicate to me that I should bail on them. I plan on holding them, maybe to take some profit, you know, around here and then around here, because we'll probably get some bounces from those areas. But planning on holding the majority of them until we get down into this area, hopefully, unless, like I said, unless something else happens. So, all right, I think that summarizes what I'm looking at. I will touch base again on Monday if we have action to warrant it. If not, you know, if we haven't really made progress anywhere by Monday, then I'll hold off on doing a video until we actually have some sort of progress. But I will talk to you all again in a little bit when we have some more action to go over. All right, have a good night.